Santa Clarita Valley. We are here on SCV Sheriff Talk with some friends from the Santa Clarita Valley Sheriff Station.
And don't forget the LASD recruitment unit. We have a special guest here today.
We went department-wide on them. We brought in help from all over the county to just talk about some of the great outreach that the Sheriff's Department is doing here in the Santa Clarita Valley. We got a lot of great things to talk about. I want to first welcome our guests. First, my co-host, Shirley Miller from the Santa Clarita Valley Sheriff Station.
Good morning.
Jacqueline?
Ashley, yes. How could you forget?
I'm just gonna see myself
it's
out.
okay.
It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, this is Ashley Olivier. She's a student worker over at our station, Santa Clarita Sheriff Station. She's so helpful. She helps me. She helps our records department. She's great.
Awesome. And then Deputy Zuniga?
That would be me, Deputy Zuniga.
The one and only. I see that on your tweets a lot.
Oh my goodness.
There's no imposters, right?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know why someone would want to imitate me, but for some reason some do. I do not understand why.
And we really appreciate you making the drive here today.
My pleasure, ma'am.
You hit some traffic
yes,
coming
I did.
here.
It was
so
only about an hour and a half. I'm good.
We really appreciate
coming in
you.
or going out of Santa Clarita Valley. So thank you for making the trek up here. First of all, congratulations are in order for the Santa Clarita Valley Sheriff Station and Shirley yourself too. I want to say congrats for some of the great work you guys have been doing with the outreach. I was talking to Sheriff's Department officials, and they're going to be doing a training up here department-wide to help out with all the stations and kind of improve. It's constant training thing,
well,
right?
this is a joint partnership because yes, our station has been doing good with social media as well as a lot of departments. I know with Deputy Zuniga's recruitment unit, you have had amazing results on social media and reaching the population, but we couldn't do it without partnering with yourself and the public. Really, I mean, we couldn't do it on our own.
And that's what I was talking to Mike Parker in the special information, and he was talking about how it is really a result of the community feedback and the community interaction.
Absolutely.
And it's a credit to that. It's also obviously a credit to the outreach and the programs and the effort that the Sheriff's Department is making to communicate with people the way they want to be communicated, which is, I think, one of their priorities and a great goal, but also the community has responded to that and it wants to get involved and it wants to interact, which is it's a great place to cover and report and interact.
And we have a lot of different avenues in case you're listening and you're not aware. Santa Clarita Sheriff Station, we have Facebook. You can follow us on Twitter. You can register to get free crime reports based on the neighborhood that you live in on www.nixle.com. If you hear the word Nixle, that is what it's referring to. We send out a lot of advisories in our crime prevention deputies. They send out weekly crime reports. There's lots of ways that you can connect with us. And then, of course, here at your hometown station, KHTS 1220, we first and third Thursday of the month at 10 o'clock. We're here.
Can I brag a little bit about the numbers, Shirley? Can I just talk about the reach?
Okay, but if you start getting too out of hand, I'm sitting next to you today, so I can whack you. Okay, all right, go ahead.
So we have 7,891 likes, which is very impressive.
On our Facebook.
Just on the Facebook page.
Yeah.
On the Twitter account, 17,400 followers. And so that's pretty darn impressive in a community of 250,000 people. That's a pretty significant reach.
Right.
Even more impressive, I thought, was 300,000 impressions or views for the Twitter page in May alone, which means obviously that the message is connecting and people are seeing it.
Yeah, and there are important messages. There are important messages to put out, Perry. I mean, not only do we put out about events, but we also do a lot of public safety announcements through Twitter. Yesterday, we had a picture of Deputy Wilson. He's the crime prevention deputy for Canyon Country and
East or West? I always forget that one.
Okay, let me think about it. Whoa, let's see. West.
Okay.
He's Canyon Country West, and Deputy Cabrera is Canyon Country East.
Knows your stuff.
So we have a
Sorry for the pop quiz, Shirley.
Yeah, I know, putting me on the hot seat. But we have a retired deputy. He's also a photographer. His name is Chris Miller, and he helps us out. You know the name too. See, you're from miles and miles away, and you know Chris Miller.
He was just in my office a few weeks ago.
Small
that
world.
man is always on top of things. He goes to so many events, always provides us with hundreds, if not thousands, of pictures, videos. He's on top of things.
He came up here a couple months ago, and he did a photo shoot. And our student worker Ashley, she participated as well. But having the baby in the car, not leaving your kids in the car when it's hot, not leaving your pets in the car. Did you see our tweet, Perry, yesterday about not leaving?
Like 30,000 people saw it, right? What happened there? But that's something we like to talk about every time this year because it's so unfortunate that people,
They think it's a serious matter.
Just do it for a minute, and it ends up being longer, or people don't see that and get concerned and smash somebody's window.
Very true.
And the temperature outside maybe 1 degree, but inside the car, I would say, I don't know, what would you say, like 10 degrees hotter or more?
Probably more, 15 to 20 degrees
15 to
hotter.
20,
depending.
yes.
Yeah.
And it
Actually,
heats
we
up
have a chart.
fast.
I got the numbers, and it's about...
You're so prepared. You did your
He knows the
homework.
answer.
So after 10 minutes, it's about 20 degrees warmer
There you
inside
go.
that car than outside.
That's crazy.
So that's
Ouch.
pretty
Yes.
darn quick. And
Yes.
then, I mean, it rises exponentially, so you can imagine there's no air coming in, so the heat just keeps going up. So
Yes.
it's pretty bad news. But, on a more positive note, talking about some of the outreach and some of the programs, I also wanted to ask you, Shirley, about Nextdoor, because that's something that a lot of people are signing up for. It's a pretty new program. I think people are still learning about it, and like, should I sign up for Nextdoor?
Yes, sign up
how
for
does that
Nextdoor.
work? How does that
Yes.
work with the
Yes. Nextdoor is a way that you can connect with your neighbors. It's a way that you can share information, even form like a virtual neighborhood watch program with your neighbors. It's free. You can get the app on your smartphone, on the computer. You can choose whether you want to receive alerts via text or email. And it's just a good way to connect. Face it, we're all busy. Do you know your neighbors next door?
I was one of the first people on Nextdoor because I'd heard about it from the department. Was
Of
saying, hey,
course
you need
you
to check
were.
this out right now. So if I'm
Star
gonna do a
student here.
story about it. Right.
Yes, no,
Extra credit.
absolutely encourage you to do it. And then all of our deputies, the department in general is endorsing Nextdoor as a way to put messages out. And so all of our crime prevention deputies are on Nextdoor. And to the public, we can't see what you're talking about. Like if you're talking to your neighbor, sharing information, unless you let us know about it, it is private what you're doing on there.
What I like about it, what I think is kind of cool, and it's different from Facebook, is there's no sock puppet accounts, or they call fake accounts. People that act
They're
as somebody
verified.
else. They're all verified, and they're all their address, which gives the department a way to actually connect with people in that neighborhood, and you know who you're talking to.
Right. And when we send public safety messages out, we can narrow it down by a neighborhood. So if you live over in the Summit in Valencia, or if you live in a neighborhood in Canyon Country, we're able to single that message down. And perhaps we notice there's a lot of vehicle burglaries in the area, and we can just say, FYI, make sure you're locking your doors, not leaving your
Close those
laptops and your
garages.
electronics on the seat, right?
Even my laptop's over here on the floor.
And you're keeping an eye on it because Justin's in the room. That's a
Okay,
good
I'm getting
idea.
impressed by everybody here today.
Watching you,
Yeah,
Justin,
yes.
pal.
Okay, well, my purse is here. I didn't leave it in my car. See, right
Good,
there.
very good.
Okay.
Yeah, and the windows are rolled up, and the doors are locked, and there's no pets in the car, and the garage is closed, right? That's
I didn't have a dog in the car, right? No,
No,
I'm just kidding.
I
No, I never leave my pets in the car.
But yeah, and so Ash, talk to us a little bit about being a student worker, because I think that's another interesting. But you're thinking about joining the department? Is that how you got
That's
involved?
my goal. So I want to get my education first and then join. And so being at the station, I mean, I'm learning a lot just being there. So I think it's great.
So tell me a little bit about your background. You're from the area. You go to school at COC?
Yeah, I go to College of the Canyons, and I graduated in 2015 from Hart.
Oh, right on.
And so
Go
I've been-
Indians.
Yeah, Indians. Yeah, exactly. And so I've been going to COC actually during high school. So I'm a little bit ahead.
Okay,
So
good
it's pretty
And,
good.
and Perry, she has some questions that she would like to ask Deputy Zuniga today.
Oh, very.
Putting Deputy Zuniga on the hot seat. I like it. Okay.
Yeah, but
I've
first,
been there before many times, sir. I'm
yes,
good.
but I would like to know a little bit more about your background. How long have you been with LASD?
I've been with LASD for just over 11 years.
11 years.
Yes.
And how long have you been with recruitment unit?
I've only been here for about 4 months, maybe 5.
4 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Relatively new.
And as I was telling you, it seems like you've been with that unit longer because I see your name out there so much in social media.
my
You're involved in so many different projects. Seriously, do you go to like every career fair that LASD has?
You know what? We have several recruiters, and everybody kind of tries to even out the workload. Do I go to many events? Yes. If you see my Facebook
Yes,
page,
you're everywhere.
I'm everywhere, yes. But so are all my partners. So we only have a group of about 5 or 6 recruiters. And I know it seems like a small amount of people for such a large department.
Oh, yeah.
But we're getting things done. Like we just, 2 people here, 2 there, 1 here, 1 there. Before you know, we're covering the whole county.
How often are you guys having testing dates right now?
Well, you know what? We need to have one at least once a month. But now we've been doing 2 to 3 a month.
Wow.
So we have several coming up. We have one on June 4th. We have another one on June 8th. I want to say today's June 2nd, correct?
Yeah, June 2nd. So where's the one
Say
this
today.
Saturday? Where's the one this June 4th?
Good question.
Inquiring minds want to know.
I know, right? I will have the information for you in a few minutes. It's in my vehicle.
Oh,
That's
no
why I had all
problem.
my stuff now.
Okay, but there's a website. Is there a website that
Absolutely.
people can go to and pull up this information?
Yes, ma'am. www.lasdcareers.org. That's where you want to go to see the upcoming dates. On the lower left-hand corner of the webpage, you're going to have an updates little section. That's where you click on with the dates, and it even has a flyer of each of our events that we have coming up.
Very good. So that's
Yes.
www.lasdcareers.org.
.org.
And
Yes, ma'am.
so, Ashley, you want to throw a question out there?
Sure. First off, how old do you have to be in order to like apply for like the deputy position?
Okay, the deputy position, you need to be 19 and a half years old to apply. But those who are not 19 and a half yet have another option, the custody assistant position.
Yeah.
Now, being a custody assistant is great. I was a custody assistant for about 2 years before I became a deputy sheriff. Do you need to be a custody assistant before being a deputy sheriff? No. So you can be a custody assistant for a couple years, and once you reach that age requirement, 19 and a half, then you could apply for deputy sheriff. Yes, sir.
Sorry, I had a
see
question,
you
sir.
interjecting. Go ahead.
He did raise his hand.
But no, there's just so much information there, and I just want to make sure I understand the term. So what does a custody assistant do as opposed to?
Okay, so your custody assistant works the jails. They're called a jailer. So a custody officer, corrections officer. So what we want to do here is make sure that those are 17 and a half years old and they think to themselves, I'm almost going to get out of high school. What am I going to do with my life? Well, there's a great career there. Some people choose to stay there. As a matter of fact, my brother, Officer Zuniga, he's currently at East Facility, and he's been doing that for the same time I've been. Well, him and I both graduate the same custody assistant academy.
So what would be the difference if somebody were looking into being a custody assistant versus maybe a student explorer in that program?
Okay.
Is that a totally different program, or?
Totally, completely different. Keep in mind, the Explorer program is for you to get yourself founded into, like, get that ground, what I want to say, the structure of how to become a deputy, hopefully in the future.
So the first kind of experience, the
Yes.
initial, I guess, taste, if you would, you know what I mean?
Exactly,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay.
Whereas a custody assistant is actually a career. You will be in the jails.
okay.
You will be getting paid.
Okay.
You'll get all your great benefits, dental, medical, vision, all that good stuff.
And they go through an academy too.
Absolutely, they
Yes.
do.
How
Okay.
long is that academy?
That academy is less than half the time of the deputy academy. It's just over 2 months, and it focuses completely on the whole jail experience, Title 15 and all the other state and federal laws that are required to be a worker at one of the jails.
And if you'd like to become a deputy, they generally, your first assignment will still be in custody. Is that still kind of how that works if you're looking to take that next level and join the department as a deputy?
If you want to be a deputy sheriff, rest assured that you do not have to stay in the jails completely. We have several options. You could
Okay.
go to the courts. You can also keep in mind that the jail time at one point in time, I want to say when I joined 11 something years ago, I remember that you needed to stay in the jails for several years.
That's what I thought. Okay.
And many
so
people
I think that's
were
the
under
old
that impression, well, I don't want to stay in the
Yeah.
jails, I want to go straight to patrol.
Right.
And I tell people the custody time is some of the most important years of your life, if not months, however the case may be. I spent, I want to say, about 5 years in custody. Now, does that sound bad? Well, to some people, I don't want to be in jail. My goodness, that sounds hard. No, it's actually not. It's a great opportunity for you to learn the culture of, it's a whole other society inside the jail and the prison system.
And I want to really ask you about that and your experiences and kind of how that shaped and where you are right now. We just have to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS, for SCV Sheriff Talk. Welcome back, Santa Clarita Valley. We're here on SCV Sheriff Talk with my co-host Shirley Miller from the Santa Clarita Valley Sheriff Station, and Ashley Olivier and Deputy Zuniga from the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department. And Deputy, you were just talking to me a little bit about your experience and kind of the perceptions and kind of the information you're trying to get out there as far as what's going on in the department, how your job, what it's like. You talk to kids, or not kids, but you know.
I talk to everyone through everything.
Yeah, you know, the older you get, Perry, they start looking like kids. You know that, right?
Oh, please. So yeah, no, but you do a lot of the outreach and recruitment for the Sheriff's Department out in the town. So talk to me a little bit about your experience with the department and what brought you to here, to
Sure,
recruitment.
I will tell you that, sir, right after I let everybody know that today, June 2nd, we actually have a testing opportunity going on at 11 a.m. at Los Angeles Trade Technical College. That's at 400 West Washington Boulevard in Los Angeles. The room is going to be Classroom TE 101 in Aspen Hall. That's going to take place in about 35 minutes. If you want to get down there and take the written
Get in the
test,
car
you can.
now.
They better hustle.
Yeah,
They better hustle.
It's okay if they come in their pajamas.
I
and,
know,
yeah,
right? Yeah, dress code is pretty much irrelevant, right? Just get down there with your California driver's license or any out-of-state license.
Talk to me about that test. That's the first test that kind of evaluates and sees where you are at for the department, for them to be able to assess a potential candidate, right?
Yes, there's two ways of doing the whole application process. So step one, technically, well, for the most part, is going to be go online to lasdcareers.org. You're going to click on career opportunities and apply for deputy sheriff or any other of our positions like custody assistant, security officer, security assistant. We have several different positions, by the way. We're obviously trying to promote the deputy sheriff position because we are down over 1,200 deputies.
There's a big push for hiring from the department. The department is seeking deputies, so that's what people should know too.
Yes.
Is that you guys are looking to increase the ranks? And
Absolutely.
All right,
We need
all right,
as many
just
as we can
wanted to get
get.
out
As long as you're qualified, we want you, we need you. So as far as the application process, if you do want to go online that way, you apply online, then you're given a test date via email. Within about 2 weeks or so is when you'll be taking the written exam. The thing with the written exam is once you pass that, you have about 2 weeks before you have to take the validated physical ability test. But there's different ways of doing this. So now if you want to, instead of going online and applying, you can actually just go to one of our testing opportunities that we do hold about twice a month. So if you go to that, you would end up taking the written test there, and if you pass that, then you get a date for your validated physical ability test.
I want to know about this physical ability test. Like, what kind of stuff do
You
they
went right
have
to the
you?
physical. I was thinking, now is this multiple choice? Is this essay?
No,
Am I-
I'm like, what's involved with that? Like 100 push-ups?
Oh, no. I think there's a misconception as to how difficult it actually really is. It's really not, I don't want to say that's not the easiest thing ever. It's not the easiest thing ever. I know it's not. But it does consist of 1 minute of nonstop push-ups, however many you can do, your max amount of push-ups within that 1 minute, the max amount of sit-ups in 1 minute. There's an obstacle course that's just over 70 yards, and it consists of going over a few something that simulates a curb, a concrete curb, and some cones where you go around them simulating a foot pursuit. You do that twice, and you're timed both times. And then there's also an arm endurance challenge, which is
Arm wrestling match. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I know. Right?
Hanging by a rope, I'm thinking. That's where I went.
It's basically just to test your arm endurance. It's it looks like a bicycle wheel, and you just put your hands on each of the pedals, and you kind of just spin it in a circular motion for 1 minute nonstop. We want to see how many revolutions you can do in that 1 minute.
Interesting. And as far as the academic part, the test, you said it was about a 90?
You're all about academics.
Yeah.
Go back.
We missed a mile and a half
Sorry.
run, by the way. There's also a mile and a half run you got to
And
do.
a mile- Under
Yes.
how many?
That's another thing. Most people think that there's a pass or fail regarding how many do I need to do,
Right.
how quick do I need to run.
Right.
Well, in all honesty, it's a cumulative score. So everything's combined. So you
Gotcha.
could do horribly, not
So they're looking for
horribly.
a fitness picture, not just how good you are at each
'Cause
thing.
you could be great upper body strength
Sure.
and do 1,000 push-ups and
But not
do
have great
1,000
legs.
crunches, right? But then you just totally just can't run.
Right,
And you
right.
can't do that, I'm sorry, but more than likely you're going to be failing.
Right.
As long as you're good all the way around, you should be fine.
decent
decent.
health and
Yeah.
decent shape.
Yeah.
But for the academic, can that be something that people study for? Should they not worry about it? Is it just basic knowledge test as far
written
as
test.
the written
you're
test?
speaking.
Yes.
Yeah, the written exam, it's going to be 60 questions, multiple choice.
So how worried should Justin be? Because he's been out of school a little while.
It's not that difficult. It has
Okay.
to do more so with comprehension of the English language.
Okay.
We'll have a paragraph that you read and you answer questions regarding that paragraph you just
Okay.
read. There's a little bit of arithmetic in there. The math is not that hard. I want to say 9th, 10th grade level at most.
Do they do any of those like scenario questions, like give you an example of this is happening, what would you do?
You know what? It's not really law enforcement related like people think.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, so what penal code is this? This just happened. What are you going to do as a peace officer? No, it's not really like that. It's just we want to make sure that you understand and comprehend the English language.
Gotcha.
And you have some basic knowledge of, mathematics.
Okay, and there is a high school diploma or GED requirement in order to become a deputy.
Yes, you need to be
Okay,
a...
so if you have that, then you'll probably be okay. On
Yeah,
that.
absolutely.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
exactly.
Okay. Well, so yeah, actually, tell us a little bit about you're actually now also getting your first experience working with the sheriff's department. How long have you been with the?
Yeah. Oh gosh, how long have I been?
Like a year?
It's about a few
I lose
months.
track of
A few
time.
months,
4 months maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say about
Maybe
4
about the
months,
same
yeah.
time that he's been with recruitment.
Yeah.
Maybe I started at the same
About 4
time.
months, yeah.
So how has your impressions or what you expected matched up with your last experience of the past 4 months, and how has that been for you?
Oh, it's great. I grew up around the department because my dad's on the department as a lieutenant, so I kind of already had a feel for the department, and now being here, it's awesome. I love it.
Right on. What did they have you doing day one, and what kind of stuff are you doing out there?
Day one, I got here. I met
Here's your
Shirley.
here's your bathroom key.
Yeah, bathroom key. You're gonna be working here.
First day paperwork.
Meet
Okay.
everybody, and
Day two,
I
maybe.
lost all the names because there's so many people at the station.
Quite a few faces at
Yes,
the station. Yeah.
exactly.
But so like, well, on day to day, I guess, what do they start you? What kind of tasks are you doing out there?
Well, on Tuesdays, I usually work with Shirley, so I do just public stuff.
Yeah,
with her,
she's been helping on Nextdoor, helping put some of our event flyers out there to
very
the
cool.
public. There's one that you recently posted a self-defense
Yeah,
class that,
self-defense class. Yeah.
right, and that's being offered through the DVC Santa Clarita.
Oh, awesome. Well, tell me a little bit about that.
Well, we'd have to log into Nextdoor to tell you the exact dates, but
Okay.
we're going to be promoting it through our social media as well. So just follow Sheriff Station on Facebook, Twitter, and we're going to be putting that out through there. I want to remember the date, whether it
I
was
think
June
it was
11th.
June 14th.
June 14th,
I believe, and it's at
yes.
nighttime.
And it was a self-defense class for the whole
free,
family.
yeah, for the whole
men, women,
family.
kids.
So there's a partnership with the Santa Clarita Valley Domestic Violence Center and the Santa Clarita Valley Sheriff's Station.
Well, it's through the Divert program. Are you
Okay.
familiar with Divert?
Well, tell me a little bit about it. For I know, of course, but maybe somebody
Okay.
listening might.
Well, Divert is just, it's a partnership between the city of, okay,
Justin,
well, you
quit-
know it too.
No,
No,
because
you tell
Justin's
me.
laughing. It's
Yes.
distracting, Shirley. I'm sorry. I'm trying to have a serious discussion about Sheriff's Department.
And he's
thinks I
over
don't know
there.
what divert
He's over there
means.
making faces.
I know.
It's a great partnership that we have through the city of Santa Clarita, as well as the sheriff's station and many other agencies. And it just the website. Do you know what it is? It's Divert.
No. I'm checking it out right now.
Are you pretending
as
like you don't
everyone
know, or
else
you
should.
really? I'm just kidding. And it's just like a one-stop shop where it has all of your resources when it comes to domestic violence. Everything is
Yeah.
there. It's a great resource. Makes everything easy to find.
Right, and scv/dvc.org is also the site. So they have you doing some outreach, and is that they kind of have you like as a student worker? Are you focused in one area, or do you kind of look at other?
I'm kind of doing a little bit of everything.
Okay.
So I'm with Shirley half the time, and then I'm in the records, so looking at reports and checking them, so stuff like that. So
So
yeah.
you're like pulling a records request or something, or
yeah, a little bit of everything. So we're going through all of the past reports at the station, just making sure everything looks good. So
And you had some questions for Deputy Zuniga.
yeah. So
You've so distracted her, by all this other stuff.
Yeah. Switch back to the
Yeah,
course.
sorry, just segue
for
back to
the
questions.
physical fitness test, is there like pre-academy workouts at that they have, or?
Yes, there are. Yes, they are. You have two locations where you can actually do that pre-academy workout. It's going to be in BC, which is going to be Biscaloos off Eastern. That's pretty much where we have the academy off of Eastern Road.
What is
Church
this
Road.
again?
This is for the pre-academy workout. Essentially what it is you are in the process of going through the hiring process, right?
So you've already
And-
taken the written test.
Yes, you're taking the
Okay.
written test. Now you're in the process, and now you're like, okay, before I join the academy, I want to make sure I get myself squared away physically, so I can be ready for the rigors of the academy.
Okay.
So what you decide to, work out on by yourself, or you can do it twice a week with us.
It's always more motivating to do
Yeah,
workouts with other
Absolutely.
Workouts, definitely.
I recommend
Workout
everybody who's
buddies.
going through the process right now to go to lasdcareers.org, and our schedule is there posted. Make sure you go there, check it, and go. If you have, there's some people that join and you just know these guys are studs, football players and basketball players, athletes, and you're like, you're gonna be fine. Focus on just getting yourself prepared, because the academy itself, being 6 months long, you're going to feel that. Towards the end, you're gonna feel it.
That was
yeah.
something that you were wondering how long the academy was. 6
Yeah.
months? Okay, it's a 6-month long
6-month
academy.
academy.
We keep on talking about the academy, but what exactly is the academy?
The academy is a training. So CHP has a special academy where you have to actually go and live there up north in Sacramento. You stay there for several months, so you don't
know
get to see
that.
your family. You're pretty much living. It's like military, where you're going to stay there in the bunkers. You're living there. LASD, we are paramilitary the way we train. But as far as you being able to go home at the end of the day, you will go home.
You
will
can
see
still see your family. So that's one
Yes.
plus to going with LASD versus some-
Huge plus. Yes, absolutely.
Versus unnamed law enforcement agency.
Oh, yeah, I didn't want to throw them out there. That's a great organization. They're doing their thing. Good for them.
Sure.
But yeah, we are down several positions, so I'm trying to make sure I let everybody know. If you want to do law enforcement, come with us, for the simple fact that not only are we down so many positions, but the fact that when you do get in, you have so many opportunities to promote within the department. Off the top of my head, I could tell you right now that we have over 200 sergeant positions available. Whereas if you go to a police department, guess what? I want to promote a sergeant, but I have to wait for that sergeant to promote before I get to take his position.
Sure.
Not the sheriff's department. We're huge.
And there's so many different things that you can do as a deputy. Some people may just picture that you're out working patrol for your career,
Oh,
but
yeah,
that's
no.
something that I've noticed in their advertising. They show all the different things that you can
Absolutely.
do. Canine deputy,
One
school
badge,
deputy.
unlimited opportunities.
That was the
Possibility.
phrase. That
One
was the
badge,
phrase
unlimited
I was trying to
possibilities,
think of.
right?
Yes.
That's, I gotta say, that's a catchy slogan. As far as where you'd like to be in the department, how is that assigned? How do you get a say in that, or do you request an assignment?
Okay, well, certain assignments have certain prerequisites. So, let's say you want to be a sergeant. You can't just come on the department and say, hey, I'm going to be a sergeant, guys. I'm going to be a lieutenant. Hey, I'm the
your
new
time.
sheriff in town. Okay, well, relax, pump those brakes, put in your time. Like, let's say if you want to be a canine handler, have a canine dog, or you want to go to SEB, which is our version of the SWAT team. You need to have your time on patrol as well. You can't just be that guy who shows up, I'm in the jails for a few months. You know what? This is cool, but I want to fly the helicopters. Well, that's good, dude. That's awesome. Good for you. Keep that enthusiasm, but please put in your time. Learn to be a good street cop, which is going to allow you to be a better detective.
Kind of a graduation.
Absolutely, yes. You want to be well-rounded in those areas before you promote.
And
Absolutely.
what about just as far as like different station locations? Do you have any say?
Oh yeah, over 25 stations. So let's say you do live down south. You want to be down there. You want to be in Carson area. Well, guess what? Carson Station is right there. Go ahead and put in for Carson Station.
Interesting.
Yeah, so if you're in the jails and you're thinking, I want to do only Compton, that's where I'm going. Okay, that's cool, dude. Put in for Compton Station. The only thing is the waiting list for each station is different.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's something I don't know if you know, but the whole station waiting thing, some people think that I'm going to be in the jails for years and years. Oh my God. No, it's actually not like that. There's some places like TSB, Lancaster, Palmdale. You could get out there in a relatively short amount of time, less than a year in some cases. So you just show up to the jails, you got your feet wet. Now you know what custody's about. You learn who's the heads of what gangs. You know about that society within the culture. And now you're on the streets. Guess what? Everything you learn in custody is going to play part on the streets.
Interesting.
Absolutely.
Did you have any other?
Yeah, so where are there multiple academies, or there's two different locations, or?
Yes, there's two locations, the same places for that pre-academy workout. You have your one down in BC, which is in East LA, then you have the one up north. Now, the one up north here is for Santa Clarita residents. They're going to love being out here because it's in your own city out
Yes.
I was just gonna say
Yeah,
it's
check it out.
part of the College of the Canyons
Yeah.
campus, right?
Whenever I go to school, I always see them
Yep.
out there. Yeah,
And you're like, I wanna
out
be
there
part of
running.
that.
I'm like,
Yes.
almost there. Not 19 and a half yet, but getting there.
Exactly. Well, the custody assistant position is still available for you if you'd
Yeah,
like.
no, that's definitely
But
true.
I do tell people, though, if you want to be a custody assistant, that's great and all, but keep in mind that if you're going to be a deputy, go through the whole deputy process. If you put in for CA, you might get sidetracked to your actual real goal. If you want to be a deputy, be a deputy.
And let me ask you, is there any advice, because we're just wrapping up on our time here today, is there any advice you would give someone? It seems like it might help if you went into the academy training process with an idea of where you wanted to go, but do you have any advice for somebody who's considering that and thinking about that process, Deputy?
I would say if you want to go through the you want to join LASD, keep yourself ready for that. Make yourself ready for the academy, physically and mentally. Tell your family, prepare them, because it's going to be a struggle for them as well. Having their significant other, having to go day in and day out and put in their work, coming out of the academy tired, having to study for the exams the following day. Just be ready for it, but understand that the reward at the end, having that badge put on your chest, knowing that you are now a sworn peace officer of the state of California with the world's largest sheriff's department, and in my opinion, the best agency out there. It's going to make it all worth it.
And I think we can end on that note. Thank you so much,
yeah.
Deputy Zuniga, for coming in.
You're welcome.
Ashley, thank you so much for taking
Thank
some
you.
time and coming by and asking questions and getting some information out there. Shirley, always a pleasure. Thank you for the SAV Sheriff Talk.
Thank you.
KHTS AM 1220, your hometown station.